one of the techniques he taught me was this word association. And this is an association of, it's a good technique. We're going to be, if you look on the back side of the page, how many books in the Old Testament? I'm in the Old Testament. Okay, here's one way to remember it. There's 3 letters in Old, there's 9 letters in Testament. 3, 9 is 39. Alright, so there's 39 books in the Old Testament. What's 3 times 9?
27.
And 27 is the books in the New Testament. And 39 and 27 equals what?
Below 66.
66, okay? That's the way I remember that. So, there's just all kinds of different memory techniques on how to learn things, and, those are just examples of a couple of easy ones. But I want to read a passage before we get started. This is from Nehemiah chapter 9, and it's really, maybe it's chapter 8, it's really become one of my pet passages right now. Nehemiah chapter 8 and verse 8. This is when they gathered all the people together. It's really referring to Ezra. It says, they read the book of the law of God, making it clear and giving the meaning so the people could understand what was being read. To me, it's a phenomenal passage. And really, one of what I would like to adopt as one of the goals of my life is just to help make the Bible clear. Give it meaning so that people can understand what they're reading. I mean, that's just a very simple passage there. And yet, as we look at the Bible, the Bible can be very, very intimidating. Especially, you're in church sometime and somebody turns to the book of Obadiah. Obadiah is 1 page long, and you've got to find, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. So you spend the next 15 minutes trying to find it. By the time you're there, they're already 3 or 4 passages later. And, so today, hopefully, by memory and helping it make it clear, and hopefully make it fun, it'll be a really fun time. Before we do, I have to start off with a little bit of humor. Talking about memory, this minister was really, really proud of himself that he had memorized a few passages. And he went out and knocking on people's doors and went to this lady's house, and he knocked on the door and he felt pretty sure she was there. Knock, knock, knock. And didn't come. So being a minister, he thought, well, I'm going to leave a little clever note here. So he actually wrote down on a piece of paper, put it in her door, Revelation chapter 3, verse 20. And basically what that says is, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and opens the door, I'll come in to him and dine with him and he with me. And so he goes, I think she'll get a good kick out of that. So anyway, she left, and sure enough, Sunday morning came, and the lady happened to leave a note in the collection plate with his name on it. And she wrote down Genesis 3:10. And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, but I was afraid because I was naked. That's why I didn't come to the door. But, all right. So, here we're gonna start. So, by the end of our time together, if I've done my job right, you will be able to say all 39 books of the Bible, 39 books of the Old Testament forwards, or we can go backwards. Or I can pick a book like Nahum. And Lisa, what's before Nahum?
Nahum in order.
Okay. I guarantee you, Sandy always gets mad when I say I guarantee.
I'm going to take that here.
But you'll be able to tell me what's on either side of the book of Nahum just by going straight there.
That's a great thing.
All right? So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the books of the Bible, and we're going to, a word association. I'm going to put a word that will remind you of that book, and then we're going to link them all together. So it's very important that you understand everything's got to be linked. So when you think of a word, and you can't, everything's got to be joined, so you know when you're going straight. That's why you can go forwards or backwards, because they're all tied together in some way. All right, the first book of the Bible is Genesis. Genesis. Sandy, for 40 years, has told me to change this picture, but I can't think of a better one. So I think of a big bottle of gin, okay? And it's got to be crazy. All right, the key to it is making your pictures kind of ridiculous. All right. If you saw something super crazy driving here, it might be something you'll remember for years and years and years. But so that's the goal. So big bottle of gin. Okay, we're pouring the bottle of gin out, but not liquids coming out, but a bunch of X's and dust. X's and dust. And that reminds me of the book of Exodus. Here's your cheat sheet back here too, if you need, see how to spell it or get in your mind. So Exodus. All right. So that they're pouring the X's and dust, but not into a glass that you would expect, but a pair of Levi's. Somebody's pouring the X's and dust into a pair of Levi's, and that reminds me of the book of Leviticus. Leviticus, okay? All right, now the Levi's, nobody's wearing Levi's, they're just pouring it in there, but the legs of them, they're tied around these bars. Somebody's going to use them, not as a rope, as like a rope, and they're going to pull these bars, prison bars. They're pulling these bars down, to help somebody escape. But these bars, I want you to picture, I didn't have it on there very good, but very cold, maybe icicles coming off of it. If you touch it, you might even go numb. I think of numb bars. Numb bars. All right, so let's do it forward. We got 4 books: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. Now see, I can go backwards. Just think of the story. Numbers, Leviticus, Exodus, Genesis. Okay? If I say the book of Leviticus, you go straight to Levi's. You go, oh, that's Exodus and Numbers. You're going to be able to do that with any of the books. All right? So on the other side of the Numbers, what's connecting the Numbers, I don't have it pictured like that. Just picture the dude holding, there's a cowboy dude in prison. And that reminds the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. All right? So you have this cowboy dude. He's kind of sad. He's just kind of going, oh man, this is horrible. He's probably totally innocent. And all of a sudden he hears laughing. Somebody's laughing at him. Making fun of him. I hear this laughing. I'm from Texas. I put this together when I was in Texas. But one of the things that laughing can be the same as joshing. I just joshing. Okay, that reminds me of Joshua. All right, so we got Numbers, we got Deuteronomy, and we got joshing. Now, the link is the dude's ear. He hears the laughing. All right, now the laughing's got to come from somebody. It's coming from the mean old judge that put him there. So you picture this mean old judge. He's laughing at the dude that's behind the bars that the Levi's are being, pulled on. So the judge, and that just simply reminds me of Judges. Are you with me? Yep. All right, so who do I pick on? James. Okay, let's go from Judges backwards to Leviticus. Okay, I'll act it out. And you just do it. Judges. Joshua. Okay. And then we have the dude. Numbers. Leviticus. Exodus. Okay, we got it. Okay, we went one farther than I said. Okay. So if I say, Carla, if I say the book of Joshua, what's on either side of Joshua?
Judges is on that side.
Okay.
And Deuteronomy.
Right. Because laughing's going from the judge's mouth into the dude's ear. Everything's got a link. And so if you can't put that link together, then you know that I must be off story somewhere. Okay, the judge is sitting there, he's laughing at the dude that's behind the cold bars that the Levi's are tied to. He's laughing, but he's going to get his because the roof is falling in on his head. Ruth reminds me of Ruth. Okay? So everything's touching. So we got the judge is laughing, going that way, but also the roof is falling in on his head. Now we look, what's causing the roof to fall on his head? Well, we see these Siamese twins. And Siamese because there's 2 of them, first and second, and their mother named them Sam. Siamese, Sam, and that's 1st and 2nd Samuel. So 1st and 2nd Samuel is jumping on the roof that's falling on the judge, that's laughing at the dude behind the bars. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Hey, Christine, you with me? All right. So we got 1st and 2nd Sam jumping on the roof. That's the link. All right, now what's next to them? Well, did you notice they're both wearing crowns? All right, so since it's 1st and 2nd Sam, they're 1st and 2nd Kings. Kings wear crowns, so we go from the roof, 1st and 2nd Samuel, look at the crowns, 1st and 2nd Kings, and then after that, you see these papers. Okay, I have the Samuel's throwing papers on both hands, going like this. It's 1st and 2nd, touching the crowns. It's papers, but I think of Chronicles, the San Francisco Chronicle. Okay, and that reminds me of 1st and 2nd Chronicles. So it's newspaper, and we call newspapers Chronicles sometimes. All right, so we got that. So that's the first 12 books of the Bible. Oh no, I'm sorry, we still got 3 more. Okay, so we got 1st and 2nd Chronicles. That's a little bit tough there because we got everything's pretty tight. We got the roof for Ruth. Then we got 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, and then 1st and 2nd Chronicles. With me? All right. And then what happens is he puts down the paper, and something is kicking that newspaper over and over and over again. It's just kicking. So much so that it's turning red and raw. His toe is raw. Ezra. Oh my God. Okay, so that's just to help you remember that red toe reminds of toe is raw, like raw hamburger meat. All right, so it's a toe, but sure enough, he's been doing that for so long. Not only is his toe bleeding, his toe raw, but his knee is all sore. Nehemiah. Ezra, Nehemiah. Now you're going, who in the world is kicking that newspaper? Let's just trace that leg back up. We got the toe, we got the knee. It's a giant Easter egg. Easter reminds the book of Esther. Esther.
That's right.
What did you say? Okay, so we have Esther, we have Nehemiah, we have Ezra, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Okay, so let's do it together from Genesis. I'm going to act it out, and you just say it with me, okay?
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st Samuel, 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther.
Okay, very good. All right, so let's try it backwards. Okay, let's try it backwards. So going
Esther, Nehemiah, Ezra, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Samuel, Ruth, Judges, Joshua, Deuteronomy, Numbers, Leviticus, Exodus, Genesis.
Okay, good. All right.
Are you going to always be there to act it out for us?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you might have to remember me doing that and start laughing or something. All right, so if I say the book of Ezra, all right, the preacher's up preaching. He goes, let's turn to the book of Ezra. Okay, you can go straight. You're going, well, I know it's past. I know it's past Deuteronomy and past Judges and past Samuels and Kings and Ezra, it's right after Chronicles. So you can go straight to that point of the story. Okay, Ezra, we got 2nd Chronicles on one side, and we got Nehemiah on the other side. All right, I'm out of breath. So that's the first 12 books. Old Testament is divided into 12 books, 5, 12. That's why I was messed up. 5, 12, 5, 5, 12. Okay, so it's kind of in that pattern. First 5 books is Pentateuch, next 12 books are history, poetry, major prophets, and the last 12 minor prophets. So 5, 12, 5, 5, 12. So we've done 17 so far. All right, so the next one, so the last picture was what? Easter egg, okay? So going this way, we had the Nehemiah and we had the Ezra. But on this way, I want you to picture a shovel in his hand. The shovel reminds us that he's got a job to do. Job is spelled exactly the same way as Job. So he's got a job to do. His job is to dig up it looks like a palm tree, but I put books in there instead of coconuts. And so it's a psalm tree. Okay? Sounds very similar. So we got Job, Psalms, all right? But the psalm tree does not want to be dug up. You notice he's got his shorts on, but the thing I really want you to see is his tennis shoes. He's got professionals. When I did this, Pro Keds were a real thing, a real popular shoe. Now it's Converse, or not, it's all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so you can think of Pro Keds shoes, or just professional basketball shoes. All right, but you think of the shoes. So you go Job, Psalm, and then Pro for Proverbs. Pro is the abbreviation of Proverbs. Okay, you got that? So the tree's trying to run away, but just as his luck would have it, he gets tripped up. You see this band around it? It's a big elastic band. Elastic reminds me of Ecclesiastics. Elastic Ecclesiastics. Elastic Ecclesiastic, okay? It just needs to remind you. That's an association. But everything's got a link. We got the elastic on touching the shoes, part of the tree, the trees, the shovel. The shovel is with Esther. Esther has also got a knee problem and a toe problem, Ezra. Okay, you with me?
Yeah.
All right. So, so we got Psalms. Are you with me here? Okay, so tell me. Psalms?
Proverbs.
Ecclesiastes. Okay, who's tripping the tree up? We've got to see who's holding that elastic band.
The singing fish.
All right, so we have a singing fish. Okay, the next book is Song of Songs. Long time ago, a lot of versions used to call it Song of Solomon, and so I used to call it the Song of a Salmon. Song of a Salmon reminded us of Song of Solomon. Now more people refer to it as Song of Songs. But anyway, just picture the singing coming out of the fish. The fish is holding the elastic band that's tripping up the shoes that the tree's wearing, that's escaping the shovel, that the Easter egg is trying to dig up. You with me?
Yeah.
All right. So we're at Song of Songs.
Yep.
All right. Now he's not jumping out of plain water. This water is frozen water. What do we call frozen water? Ice. It's big ice for Isaiah. Okay. Aren't they all good? That's the first good one we have.
Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. So we got the Song of Song coming. He's touching the ice. Isaiah. All right, and then we look on the ice, the link that's something's touching the ice down the way. It's a gigantic jar, and that reminds us. Look of Jeremiah. All right, Jeremiah. All right, what's inside the jar? A little lamb. That reminds us. Look of Lamentations. All right, so let's do some review. Let's start at Ezra. Okay, I'll act it out. You say it with me. Okay.
Nehemiah,
Esther,
Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Psalms, Isaiah,
Jeremiah.
Oh, and
Lamentations.
Beaver. Go Beaver. Okay, so we got Lamentations. All right, so we're halfway through the major major prophets here. All right, so the lamb, just like, remember the dude, the key was his ear, he was listening to something? The lamb's listening to something. Somebody's yelling at the lamb. He's going really fast on this ice, going really fast, and somebody's yelling, easy, easy, you'll get killed. Easy kill. Easy kill. Okay? So we got Jeremiah, Lamentations, his ears, easy kill. Okay? You with me? But who's saying that? Who's warning the little lamb? Okay, we got water there. What holds back water in a big dam? Okay? This big dam, I got big lips on it. The dam is yelling. Dam yell. Dam yell for the book of Daniel. Daniel. All right? So we got Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel. Okay, you read?
Yep.
Now, so I say the book of Lamentation. You go straight to that point of the story, and you know he's in a jar, so we know one side is Jeremiah, and we know the other side is
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Okay, you with me? You don't have to sing all through the song, right, Lisa? Okay. All right, so we got, what's this?
Daniel.
No. The dam, that's the big lips.
Oh.
That's my symbol for big lips on a dam. Yeah. All right, so we got Ezekiel, Daniel. Okay, now dams hold back water, right? If we want to use the water at our house outside, we got to hook up a what? A hose. And that reminds us of Hosea. All right, so just picture a hose coming off of the dam. Okay, that's the link there. And the funny thing about this is somebody played a trick on somebody. You know, they thinking water is going to come out, but what they did is they put a bunch of Jello in there, and they're squirting out Jello, Joel. Jello, Joel. All right, so that reminds you of the book of Joel. So we got Daniel, Hosea, Joel. Now, when Jello hits something and it's hot, it melts, it makes a big what?
Mess.
A mess. That's the book of Amos. All right, so let's go Amos backwards. All right, so we got
Amos, Joel, Hosea, Daniel, Ezekiel, Lamentations,
Jeremiah,
Isaiah, Psalms.
Okay, very good. Okay, we got it.
Ecclesiastes.
Great. So the fish is holding the Ecclesiastes. Okay, we got it. All right, so we're at Amos. Now, I didn't say what the mess is on, did I?
No.
It's a big O-shaped bed.
Obadiah.
And maybe somebody's dying on it. Obadiah. All right, so we got Hosea, Joel, Amos, and then we got on the Obed. Okay. Now, so we just have just a handful more. Okay, so we got Obed. Did I mention this Obed is a waterbed too?
No.
Somebody's done something very cruel. They actually had a fish in their waterbed. And that fish is broken out, and by the time it's broken out, it's a huge fish. So huge, it could probably swallow a man. That reminds us of what? Jonah and the big fish or whale. All right, so we got Amos, Obadiah, and then the fish jumping out of the bed. So Jonah. All right. Now Jonah, the fish is so excited. He's been trapped in that waterbed for so long. You know, he can't wait to tell people how cruel that guy has been to him. So he grabs a microphone. He's going to announce it to the whole world. Microphone is Micah. Okay? Micah. So we have Jonah, Micah. Okay? And then first person that comes up, maybe it's the horse that's interviewing him. You know, so you picture a whale on this side, a horse on this side, and the horses say, "Nay," and he's going, "Nay, whom are you?" Nahum. Okay, the next book is Nahum. Nay, whom are you? Now the horse, the nay is kind of coming out a little painful. Nay, whom are you? It might be that he's got some other pain going on. Maybe he's got a tremendous backache. A backache. If you say a backache real fast, a backache, a backache, a backache, a backache, a backache, a backache, it sounds like a backache. A backache. All right, just to help you remember it. All right, so we got Jonah, Micah. Hey, who are you? And then picture the horse's back. A backache, a backache. All right, it could be the backache, or it could be something else. It could be that the horse's tail is actually stuck in somebody's eyeball, but this eyeball is very different. It's got a zipper in their eye. Zephaniah. Zephaniah for Zephaniah. Zephaniah. All right? So who has a zipper in their eye? Well, we kind of look at the whole person, and boy, they're an ugly old hag. You know, and so on this eye, she's got a zipper in the eye. That's Zephaniah. It's kind of a softer Z sound, Zephaniah. And then this eye is looking over here. This is a hag eye. It's a hag. It's a hag, so the hag is looking at the zipper in the eye, and the tail is stuck in it. You know, that horse also has a backache. You know, interviewing the whale. Nay, whom are you? Talking to a microphone. Okay, you got me? All right, I think we got 2 more. All right, so the old hag, because she's looking over here, she's actually very hungry, so she's reaching for 2 sacks of rye. Sack of rye. For Zachariah. Zach, so that's a harder sound. This is zip. This is sack. Zachariah. But because she's looking this way, she misses it entirely. And she grabs an envelope, and there's a little envelope, and inside the envelope is this guy. Somebody's mailing a guy. Mail a guy or Malachi. All right, you with me? All right, that's all 39 books. So what we're going to do is we're going to say them forwards and then backwards, and then I'm going to ask Lisa what's in front of the book of Nahum. Nahum. All right? But what?
Okay.
Be thinking about it. Look on the back just if you need a cheat. All right, so here we go.
Genesis,
Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers,
Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1
Samuel, 1 Kings, 1 Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Psalms, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi.
Okay. All right. Now let's go backwards. All right? Backwards. Okay, we'll do it slower. Okay.
Malachi,
Zechariah, Haggai, Zephaniah, Habakkuk,
Nahum,
Micah, Jonah,
Obadiah, Amos, Joel, Isaiah.
What did we say?
I don't know.
I didn't sound.
No.
I heard it. Isaiah. Okay, this is Hosea.
Hosea,
Daniel,
Ezekiel,
Lamentations,
Jeremiah,
Isaiah, Song of
Ecclesiastes, Proverbs, Psalms,
Job,
Esther,
Nehemiah, Ezra, Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Samuel, Ruth, Judges,
Wait, you're going to do it fast.
Joshua,
Okay.
no, Judges, Deuteronomy, Numbers, yeah, Leviticus, Exodus,
All right, very good. All right, Lisa, what's on either side of the book of Nahum?
Okay, Micah, because he's talking into a microphone. And then his tail is whacking someone in the eye.
No, you're missing something.
Oh, Habakkuk.
Okay, good, okay. All right.
Okay.
So, anyway, the best way to learn anything is to teach it to somebody.
Right.
All right, so if you teach this to somebody, just sit down with somebody and say, hey, I can teach you all the books of the Old Testament pretty quick. You know, use this as a cheat sheet, but if you teach it, it'll be yours. All right? But comments. How'd you do?
Can we
Yeah, no, it's
FaceTime
pretty
you
good.
for
Very good.
motivation?
That was cool.
Yeah.
It was great.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if we remember it tomorrow, but it was.
Yeah.
It kind
Well,
of
yeah,
gives you
it's-
insight into how you think.